Okay, and now I want to proceed to analyze this text, and I would like to start with the descriptions of these characters. And teachers themselves were bemused and amused by these two smart students. They were the smartest ones in their group, but still they were afraid to put marks, basically because they knew that it would be a great tragedy for each of them if they knew that they weren't so smart. And there isn't much description about both of them, but only about Philippa. And she was attractive, she was slim, red hat, and with rather high pitched voice, and she was the same height as William, so she would tease him up by wearing high heels to show that he was shorter. And they, during their studying, they were remaining neck and neck with each other. They were afraid that some of them do more than they do, and they were afraid that somebody will beat them. And in this point, I can't say that they loved each other. I have two minds here. I can't say there is proofs in the text that they loved each other. The only one proof that I have is that they couldn't love each other so fast. Like, it was so short time, a period of time to fall in love with each other, and it is a real love because they live with each other for so long time, for let's say their whole life. So I don't know whether it was whether they loved each other before, but I have only one proof here. When it was summer, they used to have other partners, but as soon as the studying year began, they broke up with their partners. So this is why I think that probably there were times when they could see each other. They knew for sure that they not knew for sure, they just deeply knew, deep down they knew that they loved each other. I don't know. There is no really proof here, and I couldn't find them. But at the moment when her father died, and he was expecting to see a formidable rival, but he saw just her crying. He changed his mind, and I guess at the same time, at this point, she understood that he wasn't an evil. He wasn't as bad as she thought, because they basically didn't know anything about each other. It was mentioned that when he first came to her room, and he understood that she knew about her brain abilities a lot, but he didn't know about her even room, how it looks, how it looked, and even didn't know that she had father. So this is why they look at each other in different ways, at different points and perspectives, let's say. They changed their mind. She saw that he could be really sensitive, he could care about her, and at the same time as he understood that she has emotions, and she isn't this strong woman, but she can love, for example, her father. And at this point, that relationship changed, and they became a family. Then about themes, I would say there were a lot of them. The first one is love and rivalry. So it is the most basic one. We can see it in the story very clearly, because these couples were loving each other, even though they had this competition. They loved each other even though they had this competition, and it is the key point and key themes in this book. Then intellectual competition, and I have a point here. I guess the author wanted to prove that competition isn't a bad phenomenon. It also can be really productive, because even though they had different relationship between among, while they had this competition, they were haters, then they became lovers. Still, they compete each other, they continue to do it, and they get really great results. They gained a lot of success, and they spend the life the way they wanted to spend. So competition can be great. So then irony, for me, it's the moment when they became lovers, even though they were haters, and the prize itself, because before this prize, when they were preparing for this, they wanted to win, but before the getting the results, and when they couldn't do anything, they were expecting and hoping that we um, mm, will win. And then I would like to talk about the symbols in this text. The first one is this Shakespeare prize. So what is that? I guess it's a huge proof that they were equally smart, that they had the same abilities, and actually it gave them a desire, the desire to continue the competition, because they didn't prove each other that they are the smartest one. They knew that they need something more to prove, so they continued this competition, and this is why they gained the success. Then this word play. So yes, they were joking on each other during all this time. Even people in university, when they became teachers, were like wondering whether they really hated each other or it was just jokes. And again, these words, they were talking each other, give them push to not to forget about this competition, because if they just told each other that, you are so smart, you don't need to do anything else, so it would make them believe that they are smart, and they would end here and wouldn't do anything for their future success. So this is why these short phrases gave them the push to develop each other. Then the symbolism of the ending, and here I want to combine the last task with this one. And for me, this ending shows two main ideas. The first one is that they couldn't live without each other. So as it was mentioned in the text, legend has it that they were never apart for more than a few hours. So when she died, approximately a few hours passed, and he knew that he couldn't live without her, so he died as well. And another idea is that this ending showed the ideal end of the competition, because they proved each other, not each other, by themselves, that they are smartest one. So for example, she died knowing that this word didn't exist, and she was right. And he died knowing that no, this word did exist, and he was right. So they died knowing that they were right, and it is, I guess, the ideal, the end of this competition. Then I would like to talk about the time period. I didn't came up with a lot of information about this period. I just found some information in some forums, and people share that actually studying back then were quite easy. It was fun, and nowadays it's much harder. So I don't know whether it is true, even though the comments of people were people who comment them were studying at this university. But I found another point, that one male said that actually there were approximately 43 universities in Great Britain, and they were completely different, and there were a lot of smart people, and the smartest people of the world, so you should compete with each other. I guess it was the correct answer for this question, because back then they were competing with the greatest minds of the world, brains of the world, so this is why it is the great time for using the great context for using this book. But I found another idea here, that students okay, so there were really a little women there, because there were a few women there, like the majority of the students were boys and men. So this is why I guess probably the real reason for them to compete was that this girl wanted to beat the smartest boy, to show that women also smart, and they can be smart as well as men, and even better. So she wanted to prove it, and this is why she competed with them. And he wanted to prove that no, men are smarter, so he wanted to prove her that no, women are not so smart, but it wasn't matched in the text like clearly, so I can't judge, because I don't have any proof. But still, it can be a reason, because really women were like a small part of this group. It was mostly men who were studying there. So that's actually it.